So yesterday we discussed about echelon form of a matrix, and then what the idea of row equivalent matrices, and the idea of rank of a matrix. And as part of the applications, we have seen some examples of system of linear equations which are non-homogeneous, and when a system is consistent, means it admits a solution, and when a system is inconsistent, that is there is no solution, we have seen by using the idea of rank. So for a system of equations, we have associated a matrix called augmented matrix. So we have associated a matrix called augmented matrix, and then based on the rank of the equality of rank of augmented matrix and rank of the quotient matrix, we, if they are equal, we claimed that it is a consistent system. If they are not equal, it is an inconsistent system. That is what we have told. So for example, you see here, this is a question in GATE examination. The following simultaneous equations, the equations are like this: x plus y plus z is equal to 3, x plus y plus z is equal to 3, x plus 2y plus 3z is equal to 4, is equal to 4, and x plus 4y plus kz is equal to 6. So this is the system will not have a unique solution for k equal to, that is the question. So this system, they are asking, this is a GATE question. It was in 2008. This is GATE 2008. Okay. So they are asking for the value of k. I mean here the value of k,
Sir, you are not on mute.
hello, hello, hello,
Yes, sir.
yeah, tell me something you want to tell. You're not able to hear me? Are you able to hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir,
sir,
we
we are
can hear
able to
you.
hear you.
I can hear you.
Yeah. Right. So the value of k, for which the system has no solution, for which the system has no solution. The system has no solution. We are asked to find. Okay. So here the way is that for this one, we need to write the quotient matrix here. I mean augmented matrix. This being a non-homogeneous system, we need to take the augmented matrix. Consider the augmented matrix. So when we consider augmented matrix, it is 1 1 1, that is quotients of x, followed by 1 2 4, followed by 1 2 4, then 1 3 k, 1 3 k, 3, 4, 6. So we need to reduce this into its echelon form. So for which, see here, you can simultaneously, the thing is that this is not an echelon form. So we need to make this 0, this 0. So this is the pivotal element, I say. This is the pivotal element. So what we do here is that R2 minus R1, R3 minus R1 will take. That reduces to, there is no change in the first row, 1, 1, 1, 3. When it comes to the second row, we have 0, 1, 2, 1. 0, 1, 2, 1. When it comes to third row, 1, 3, k minus 1, 3. 1, 3, k minus 1, 3. Sorry, this is 0, 3, k minus 1, 3. Okay, that is what we got. See here. So R2 minus R2 minus R1. So we have 1, 0, 1, 2, 1. 0, 1, 2, 1 second row. Now 0, 3, k minus 1, 3. Yeah, right. Yet this is not an echelon form. So see here, the pivotal element is this. We need to make this one 0. So for which we have to apply R3 minus 3R2. R3 minus 3R2. So this yields 1,113. There is no change there. Second row 0, 1, 2, 1. Third row we have 0, 0, 0, 0, 6, k minus 7, k minus 7. Then we have 3 minus 3 is 0. Okay. So this is the one. So if we take what is the rank of this matrix? What is the rank of this matrix? What is the rank of this matrix? See, the rank of we cannot say, because this is already in echelon form. See, I'll just write again. 1, 1, 1, 3, 0, 1, 2, 1, 0, 0, k minus 7, 0. Because we do not know whether we don't know the k value, you cannot say anything here. Suppose if k value is 7, see here, if k value is 7, then we can say that the third row becomes 0. So the third row becomes 0. So if k is 7, then rank of the augmented matrix, we are writing like this, is equal to rank of A quotient matrix, that is becoming 2. That is becoming 2C here. So this becomes, see this matrix, in this matrix, where is the quotient matrix part? The quotient matrix part is this. and the whole the remaining the whole part, that is the whole part, if you take, this is the augmented matrix. So if you want the rank, if k is equal to 7, then this becomes 0, which becomes 0. This third row, this entire third row, this also will become 0. So rank of the augmented matrix is 2 and rank of the quotient matrix is also 2. So the system is consistent. We can say the system is consistent. But see here, the ladder is 1 here. Ladder is so in triangular form. On the other, so if the system is consistent, but the problem here is that this number we are representing by 2 r, this we are representing by r, but the number of variables here is 3. So here r is less than 3. See here, once we say that we have reached this stage, if we reach this stage, see r, we are able to find common rank, then here itself system is consistent. We can say that system consistent. That is admits a solution. Now, because r is less than n, our conclusion is that the system has infinite number of solutions. The system has infinite number of solutions. But if r is not if k is not equal to 7, then what happens? See, this is for k is equal to 7. If k is not equal to 7, then the rank of the augmented matrix is 3 and the rank of the quotient matrix is also 3. Why? Because see here, this is non-zero. K is not equal to 7 means that is not equal to 0. So that becomes a pivotal element of the third row. So the form is in echelon form. The matrix is in echelon form. So we have the rank as 3 here, quotient augmented matrix, as well as the quotient matrix rank is 3. So this is equal to the number of variables. That is equal to the number of variables. So if the second case, that is, if k is not equal to 7, in that case also the rank of augmented matrix is equal to the rank of the quotient matrix, that is equal to 3, which is equal to n, the number of variables. This is actually the common rank r. R is equal to n. So if r is equal to n, what is the conclusion? System has unique solution. So does not have, see what did he ask for? He asked in the exam, they asked for the value of k for which the system has no, is not having unique solution. That is what they are asking for. Is not having unique solution. Is not having unique solution. That is what they are asking. Having unique solution. So for this the answer is k is equal to 7. For this the answer is k is equal to 7. So they have given the alternatives as 0, 30, 6, 7. They are the alternatives they have given. So this will be the correct answer. 7 is the correct answer. In a similar way, there is one more question actually. So they give a parameter and we are asked to determine that the value of that parameter, so that the system has a unique solution or no solution, or more than one solution. They'll ask for such things. Yeah, there is. Yeah, this is another question. I hope this is more simpler one. X plus 2y plus z. X plus 2y plus z. So they give you at most three variables, that's all, is equal to 4, is equal to 4. 2x plus y plus 2z. 2x plus 2y plus 2z is equal to 5, and x minus y plus z is 1. And x minus y plus z is 1. Now he is asking for a unique solution of, see the alternatives here. So this is our their given system. This is their given system. Now the alternatives. The alternatives. The alternatives are a unique solution of, they say, first alternative is unique solution of x equal to 1, y equal to 1 and z equal to 1. And B is only two solutions. He says only two solutions. Okay. So he is giving that two solutions as x is equal to 1 is equal to y is equal to z. Okay. And see how they are asking. And one more and, comma, x is 2, y is 1, z is 0. Z is 0. So that is alternative B. Alternative B. And then you have C. C and D. Alternative C is infinite number of solutions. And the other one is no feasible solution. So if the question is asked like this, see, the best way is it is always there. You just take the augmented matrix and find its rank and then judge. That is straightforward answer. You will definitely get that. So here, but see, there is a way of eliminating things. I just try to respond. Among these four, I expect an answer from you. Among these four alternatives, you can eliminate one, definitely. What is that? Can anybody tell? Are you able to see this screen? I don't know. See, yeah. See, sometimes quick answering is also required here. This is the system they have given. There sometimes the way is that, a better way is that you find the augmented matrix and then find its rank, and based on that one, like here, you can make a judgment. Here you need to do it. There is no other way. But when it comes to this problem, you have there is some way of eliminating things. So can anyone tell which can outrightly, see, this is not the possibility. Can anyone, is it possible here? Can anyone respond? Can anyone respond? I mean, among A, B, C, D, which is definitely not true. Among A, B, C, D, which is definitely not true. Can anybody tell? So here, the second one is not true. because what are the alternatives here? The system may have unique solution. The third one is that it may have infinite number of solutions. Otherwise, and or there is no solution. So these three. So when such things are asked, you can directly straight away eliminate B. And the other one is that it has unique solution, it says. But we see here, it appears that this first one is a solution. First one is a solution because if you put x as 1, y as 1 and z as 1, then you are able to see that is a solution. So now the see, it cannot, no solution is not possible. No solution is not possible. So what we need to do is that the most likely answer is the A1. The answer is A. So how that can be done? See here, for that we require this what I mean by augmented matrix 1 to 1, 1 to 1, 2 1 1, 2 1 minus 1. So 1 to 1, 2 1 minus 1, 1 to 1, 2 1 minus 1, and you have 1 to 1, again 1 to 1, again 1 to 1, and then you have the last one. The last one is 4 5 1. The last one is 4 5 1. So this is the augmented matrix. See, you can so if we reduce C, we can make this 0. This you can make easily 0 and this also 0. What are the necessary operations here? R2 minus 2 R1 and followed by okay, followed by R3 minus R1. So that yields us, that gives us we have 1 2 1 4. This is 0. So 2 2's 4 minus 3 here, and you have 0 here. 4 minus 5, I mean that is 0, right? And so 2 4's 8, so you have minus 3 here, and here it is 0 minus 3, you have 0, you have minus 3. See here, so these two are same rows. So you can say that the rank of this matrix, so you need not go till the end, because if you perform this operation, then you will get the last row as 0, R3 minus R2. Okay, so that becomes 0. So this becomes 0 in the next operation. If you apply this, then it becomes 0. So rank of the augmented matrix and the rank of the quotient matrix is 2 here. Okay. So rank of the augmented matrix here, rank of the augmented matrix is equal to rank of the quotient matrix. It is equal to, now it gives you 2, it is R, but this is less than n. N is the number of variables is 3 here. Now what I would like to say is that there is a possibility that if there are infinite number of solutions, then there is a question, how many independent variables are there in that system. So see, in this PPT, that is why in the material which I am sharing with you here, yeah, right. See, if you look at this, augmented matrix, it is there. This is not this one. It's not moving. Yeah. Yeah. See here, there are n minus r independent variables. See, if your R is less than n, whether it is homogeneous system or non-homogeneous system. Here, homogeneous system also I have talked about. Implies admits a non-trivial solution means immediately you can say that rank of there are something called independent variables, that is are free variables. There are n minus r free variables. So what is free variable in this context is, what is free variables in this context is, see, you have the given system now reduce it to, the given system now reduce it to 1 x plus y 2y plus z, x plus 2y plus z, x plus 2y plus z is equal to 4. That is our first equation. Okay, that corresponds to this row, that corresponds to this row. Which row? This is the row. Now if you look at this row, you have minus 3y plus 0 into z is equal to 3, minus 3. So you have minus 3y is equal to minus 3, minus 3y is equal to minus 3. So that we need to write minus 3y is equal to minus 3. So what happened here? See, here, if you look at this system, where is the given system? Here. The given system is here. The given system is here. This is the given system. Among them, in the resultant system, only this remained, and these two clubbed together, and it resulted in when we club 2 and 3, it resulted in this only equation. Now, if you put y is equal to, so from this equation, we can say that y is 1. Once y becomes 1, the first equation now, from the first equation, this is backward substitution. So you have x plus z is equal to 2. X plus z is equal to 2. So this is the final we have arrived. Y is 1 already fixed and x plus z is equal to 2. So to get that one, see, it is simple way of writing. There is a simple way. This can be rewritten as x is equal to 2 minus z. X is equal to 2 minus z. So you write, so now how many equations are there now? We started with 3 equations and we arrived at these 2 equations. What are they? These two. So what now we will write the final solution. The final solution is x, y, z. This is, see, already y is fixed here. Already y is 1, that is fixed. Fixed means it is dependent, it is not a free variable. On the other hand, if you take x, see, from this relation, you can view in two ways. Either x can be written, either x is written like this, either x is written like this, or you can write z is equal to 2 minus x also. When you write x is equal to 2 minus z, z is called free variable. Z is free variable and x depends on z. That is the meaning. If you write z is equal to 2 minus x, then x is free variable and z is a dependent variable. So if we stick to this one, if we stick to this representation, so you have 2 minus z. X value is 2 minus z. And z value is free. Z is free here. So z. So we can write this as, see here, constant part 2, 1, 0. In the first part 2 minus z, constant is 2. Second part it is 1. Third part there is no constant there, so it is 0. And some more is there. Some part is left over there. So that is minus 1, 0, 1. So you have plus minus z, 0, z. That is left. And now this is further simplified as, this can be further simplified as is equal to plus you have z into minus 1, 0, 1. And the constant part here is 2, 1, 0. So this is the solution. See, when I say, when you look at the solution like this, when you look at the solution like this, when you look at the solution like this, see, this is our solution. We all started, our solution is this. We started writing our solution here. This is the solution. Okay. So that is now finally came as, this. So we have x, y, z finally equal to 2, 1, 0 plus z into minus 1, 0, 1. So you can choose z as 0, or you can choose z as 1, 2, 3, anything. So this is called a free variable. How many free variables are there? There is only one free variable out of 3 variables x, y, z. See, out of 3 variables x, y, z. And this result says that, which I said, that can be easily see how many free variables are there. That can be determined from this result. See, r is not equal to n. So r is less than n. So infinite number of solutions. Now you simply here see what is n minus r. N minus r is here. This many independent variables will be there. So among them, in this one, they may ask a question like, is it possible to have, they may give a question like this. They will give this system. In this one, the system has infinite number of solutions. That is the answer, a correct answer. This is the correct answer for this one. Infinite number of solutions. Then see, one can expect a question like this. It has infinite number of solutions, and y is free variable. That is one choice. And it has infinite number of solutions. X has, where x is a free variable. It has infinite number of solutions. Either x, z is a free variable. Like that, see, x and y are free variables. Like that they can ask. So here y cannot be a free variable. Either x, it is an exclusive r, either x or z. exclusive OR, that is, they can become a free variable. Why? Because the number of free variables here is only 1. The number of free variables here is only 1. It is n minus r. I told you it is n minus r, only 1. And because y is 1 fixed here, you cannot have y as a free variable. So either x or z as free. If the solution is written like this, then it is understood that here z is the free variable. Okay. So such questions there this type of questions, a little involving analytical rules. You have to apply rules here. Rules I mean, see, this is the main table. Rules I mean, here also this is all talking about the homogeneous system. So B is 0. In such case, yesterday I told you the rank of A is equal to n is one possibility. The number of variables, rank of A is less than n is another possibility. If rank of A is n, it has only trivial solution. There is no non-trivial solution, because whenever we see homogeneous, we think about homogeneous systems, trivial solution is always there, and we want to check whether a non-trivial solution is there. So when rank of A is n, it has only trivial solution, no non-trivial solution. If rank of A is less than n, then it has non-trivial solutions. It has non-trivial solutions, infinite number of solutions. In such case, if rank of A is say r, then n minus r free variables you can talk about, and we can write what are all the solutions. See, writing all the solutions is very important thing here, because when it comes to eigenvalues and eigenvectors, that is the final topic, where you need to express certain things like this. Sometimes the solution, see here what I'm telling you is that, see here, this is a linear combination of 210 minus 101. So that is called as linear combination. That is a column matrix plus some scalar into another column matrix results in a column vector xyz. So this is called a linear combination of vectors. So this is a general way. This is called general solution. This is called general solution. So while finding eigenvalues and eigenvectors, we may be expected to find general solutions. That's why we should know how to write a general solution here. So I have given an example here. Okay, now, right. So I have discussed here about system of linear equations thoroughly. Yeah, now see operations associated with matrices, addition, multiplication, and see here, once multiplication, power of matrices. There are some questions based on powers of matrices. So everyone knew about addition and multiplication. That's not everyone knows about these things. The operations, addition of matrices and multiplication. One more is scalar multiplication is there. That is trivial, so I'm not discussing about it. So addition means you are adding two matrices, means to get here the resultant will be there. When you are adding two matrices, they must be of same type. They must be of same type. Same size or same type, whatever it may be. Okay, that is compulsory. So if you can add only to a 2 by 3 matrix, another 2 by 3 matrix, and the resultant is a 2 by 3 matrix. That is what it says. But when it comes to multiplication, you can multiply any two square matrices, but you cannot multiply any two rectangular matrices. That is the thing here. You have to be careful. So when it comes to square matrices, there is no problem. But when it comes to rectangular matrices, there is an issue here. So you can multiply an m by n matrix with an n by p matrix. So if you want to multiply two matrices, the prefactors in the prefactor matrix, when I say AB, A is called prefactor, B is called postfactor. Let me call like that. So the number of columns in the prefactor is equal to the number of rows in the postfactor. That is very important here. Okay. So with this, if with this, the resultant matrix is M by P matrix. The resultant matrix is M by P. This is all about addition and multiplication. Every one of us knows. Then what is this powers of matrices? When you talk about power of a matrix, see, power of a matrix. When you talk about power of a matrix, then you have A. You can talk about A square. You can talk about A cube, etc. That is the meaning. But see, what is A square? A into A. If you want to multiply A into A means, is A, it easily follows that A is a square matrix. Otherwise, if it is not a square matrix, you cannot multiply A into A. You cannot multiply A into A. For example, see here, I will give an example of a non-square matrix, that is, say, 2, 1, 0. This is A. Can we multiply? Can we talk about A square? No, you cannot talk about A square. A square is not possible. Talking about A square is not possible. So you can talk about square A cube A4 only when A is a square matrix. That is fine, good. Now see, it is easy that if A is, say, I will give a simple matrix 1 0 0 minus 1, then you can talk about its A square. A square is 1 0 0 1. You can see here, and A cube also you can multiply and get A cube as A cube as 1 0. How I am writing A cube? A into A square. Say A is 1 0 0 minus 1, and you have 1 0 0 1. This results in 1 0 0 minus 1. Likewise, you can talk about A power 4, A power 5, etc. Now see, I will give a gate question. We will see if examine one gate question, how to answer that. This is quite interesting one on powers of matrices. That question is, just a minute. Yeah. So what they have given is, good, I will share this. I'll share this one. Just a minute. I'll take a picture and share. No, it's not possible, I think. It's not possible. Okay. So A is given as 0, 1. A is given as 0, 1, minus 2, minus 3. This they have given. A is given as that. So here this is a problem. Okay. Then we are asked to find, okay, then find. There are so many alternatives. Okay, fine. And find e power a. That is what they have asked. Find e power a. Then he is saying that he is giving some values here. Okay, we want the e power a. We want alternatives also. There are there. The alternatives are like one such alternative. I'm saying 2e power minus 2, 2e power minus 2, minus 3 power minus 1, minus 3 power minus 1. Then you have 2e power minus 2, 2e power minus 2, minus 2e power minus 1. So there are two elements, and e power minus 1, here e power minus 1 minus e power minus. So we want to answer in this way. Something like this we have to get. How to get this? 5e power minus 2 minus e power minus 1. This is one possible answer he has given. Likewise, he is changing actually. He is changing the values here inside. But how to get into this one? How to get into this one? That is the question. Okay. So this I am giving as an exercise. See, I want you to find using this power idea, power of a matrix. By next class, try to find answer for this one. What is that? See, he has a is there. A is equal to 0, 1, minus 2, minus 3, and you need to find e power a. It should give some sense. E power a. You have to get the answer. Okay. So try to get the answer for this one. This question is given in GATE ECE for GATE 2008. ECE 2008. So you try to see, I want e power a answer. How you will find e power a? That you please try this one. Okay. So now see, when I'm coming to this point, right? So power of a matrix, power of matrices, I talked, we are discussing about. Then the next one is polynomials in matrices. Polynomials in matrices, we mean what? See, if you have a here, you can think about, see here, you can think about a1 plus a square plus a cube. What is 1 here? 1 means identity. I2, because A being a 2 by 2 matrix, I2 plus a square plus a cube. This is called polynomial in A. This is called polynomial in E. So we see that is polynomials in matrices. Next, transpose of a matrix. Transpose of a matrix A m by n results in a matrix of size n by m. Similarly, conjugate transpose of a matrix, we can talk about conjugate. Whenever conjugate transpose is coming into picture, first you need to look at what is conjugate of a matrix. If A is, see here, what I mean by conjugate is, if A is equal to, say, some complex numbers are there inside, 1 minus 3 I, 0, 2. Then usually complex conjugate they write like this. It is I bar, 1 minus 3 I bar, 0 bar, 2 bar. What is this bar? Complex conjugate. How can we write that? How can we define that complex conjugate? See, if you have a number z is equal to x plus iy, where x and y are real numbers, where x and y are real numbers. Okay, where x and y are real numbers, then okay, then z bar is x minus iy. So if you have z is equal to 1 minus I, z bar is 1 plus I. So where, before I, you look at the sign and reverse it. That's all. That is z bar. So that is called complex conjugate. That is called complex conjugate. And so you simply calculate the complex conjugate. If they, so then the answer will be minus I, 1 plus 3I, 0, because there is no complex part here, imaginary part there, it is 2. So this is called conjugate of A. This is called conjugate of A. This is called conjugate of A. Okay. Then you can talk about conjugate transpose. That is usually denoted by in the literature A power H, or people write A power theta. A power H is the common. So you have minus I, 1 plus 3I, 0, 2. This is the complex conjugate of the matrix. Okay. So we have, right, we have the idea of complex conjugate. Some issue, right? Okay. Complex conjugate, that is what here, conjugate transpose, I mean conjugate transpose. And then see, principal diagonal elements I already told. Trace of A means, this is all about square matrices. Trace of A means sum of the principal diagonal elements. Sum of the principal diagonal elements here, we mean if you take, for example, you have this, say 1 0 0, 2 1 0 0 0, it should be a square matrix. For that only we can talk about trace. So if you add all the principal diagonal elements, it is called trace. It is called trace. So you need to add this. So if this is your this is our A, then TR of A, trace of A is 1 plus 1 plus minus 1. So it is 1. So this is trace, we one number we are associating to with a square matrix, and also we can associate to is with a square matrix another number called determinant. See, trace can be it can be 0, it can be negative, or it can be positive. Similarly, determinant also can be positive, negative, or 0. So with a square matrix, we are associating some two special numbers, that one is called trace and the other one is called determinant. They can be positive or 0 or negative. But on the other hand, for every matrix we associated earlier a number called rank, it is always positive. That's all. It is always positive. So trace of a matrix we have talked about. Then determinant of a square matrix, we have an idea. So you see here, when it comes to determinant, whatever you have learned, that is enough in fact to handle gate, but some properties are required. Determinant of a matrix, properties are there. So to talk about determinant, see, for example, if you have, how we do, usually if you have a matrix like 2 by 2, you can go for 2 by 2. So in general ABCD. So this is, if this is your A, So then that A is AD minus BC. This is the definition. This is for 2 by 2 matrix. You can talk about 1 by 1 matrix also. Square matrices only we have determinant. Okay. So for if you look, this is also a square matrix. For example, minus 3. It's a 1 by 1 matrix. Determinant of this 1 by 1 square matrix is, so if I ask you what is determinant of this, some people write this as modulus of A. If this is our A, okay, if this is our A, then if you want what is determinant of A here, determinant of A here, for this, we want determinant of A, whatever the number inside it is the answer. If you have matrix of 1 by 1 which is equal to 2, only 2 has its element, then it is determinant is 2. Then we came to the 2 by 2 square matrix and we have written this one. This is the definition. When it comes to 3 by 3 matrix, that is square, it is a see this determined definition is a recursive one. It's a recursive one. So if you have 3 by 3 matrix, you know how to compute the determinant. So either a row or a long column, you can find the determinant of that matrix. That part is there. I am not just. It is not necessary to recall that one. It is a very simple one. How to find determinant? So determinant of a matrix, that is a number for that is a number we are associating to a square matrix. Then see, if determinant of a square matrix is not equal to 0, then it is called non-singular. If determinant of a matrix is not equal to 0, then it is called a non-singular matrix. If determinant of A is equal to 0, then we say that it is a singular matrix. It is called a singular matrix. So we are introducing based on the determinant a non-singular matrix and a singular matrix. Non-singular means its determinant is not equal to 0. A matrix is said to be non-singular if determinant of A is not equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, it is called a singular matrix. Now see, then you can, there is a claim here. If it is non-singular, then it can be invertible. You can find inverse of that. So for that you have a formula. That formula is so A is non-singular. Meaning is determinant of A is not equal to 0. Then you can talk about inverse. So inverse, so how to write inverse? There is a matrix. What is an inverse? A is already fixed. You found that A and you found that A is not equal to 0. Fine. For this A, there will be a matrix B such that BA is equal to AB is equal to identity. In such a case, B is called inverse of A and we write A inverse is equal to B. Okay, in such a case. So there is a, if you want to find B, that is the inverse of A, there is a way they told adjoint of A by det A. Adjoint of A by determinant of A. So you can find by using this formula the inverse of a matrix. Okay. So if determinant is not equal to 0, definitely it is invertible, and adjoint by determinant which is non-zero is meaningful. Okay, well defined that is. Next, symmetric and skew symmetric matrices. A matrix is said to be symmetric if A transpose is equal to A, and it is called skew symmetric if A transpose is equal to minus A. Similarly, a matrix is known as orthogonal. See here, from trace onwards, okay, principal diagonal that is related to square matrix, trace related to square matrix, determinant related to square matrix, invertibility of a matrix related to square matrix, symmetric matrix and skew symmetric matrices both are characteristics of a square matrix. So if A transpose is equal to A, see when I am saying A transpose and A are of not of same type. When they are of same type, then A is a square matrix. So here we are claiming A transpose equal to A means A must be a square matrix. If A transpose equal to A, then we say it is a symmetric matrix. If A transpose is equal to minus A, then we say it is a skew symmetric matrix. Next, you have an orthogonal matrix. A into A transpose is identity, that is A inverse is A transpose. That is orthogonal matrix definition. That is also a square matrix. Normal matrix, this is very important. If A into A transpose is equal to A transpose into A transpose into A, then it is called a normal matrix. A into A transpose is equal to A transpose into A. If they are equal, then it is called a normal matrix. Okay, so we talk about eigenvalues and eigenvectors later, but some important information, some properties involving rank. Rank of A and A transpose is same. That is very important one. Rank of A and A transpose is same. See, when I am saying in the previous slide, this slide, all is about square matrices. All the points are about square matrices. But when it comes to here, it need not be a square matrix. When I am saying rank of A and A transpose, when I am talking about, so if A is an m by n matrix, then A transpose is an n by m matrix. So they are not square matrices. Suppose when m is not equal to n. So rank of A and A transpose rank both are same. That is the claim. But okay. Next, rank of a zero matrix is zero. Rank of non-singular matrix. What is non-singular matrix? Determinant is not equal to zero. So it is a square matrix. Then it is must be n. It is equal to n. So the order of that matrix, if it is a non-singular one. Non-singular means again invertibility will come. So for a rectangular matrix A m by n, rho A is less than or equal to minimum of m comma n. Please, this is very important result. So rank of a matrix A is less than or equal to minimum of m comma n. Now, for a square matrix A of order n, if rho A is equal to n, then determinant is not equal to 0. So it is a non-singular matrix. So if rank of a square matrix of order n is n, then it is an invertible matrix, that is non-singular matrix, that is a standard result. For a square matrix A of order n, if rho A is less than n, then it is definitely a non-singular matrix. That is, rank of A is less than that order, that is definitely a singular matrix, I mean a singular matrix. Further, rank of product of two matrices AB is less than or equal to maximum of rho A comma rho B. So rank of the product will not exceed the maximum of A and B. Rank of A and rank of B. So that is some properties involving rank and determinant. Rank and determinant. These are the properties. Then this we will see in the next class. Okay. So what we have Right. Some problems we can do on these things now. Some problems I will pause and will do just in 5 minutes. I will share some problems. You please now try to respond. I want response from your end. Further, I would like to suggest some books. Okay, for this one. One is the best book is so this is a very good book. I think just a minute. Yeah, right. So this is the Linear Algebra by Shams Outline Series. This is one of the best books for your preparation to GATE. Okay, for GATE or any competitive exam, not only for GATE. For you, the syllabus is algebra of matrices, system of linear equations. That's all. Beyond that, don't try to go because it involves all the ideas of linear algebra in this one. Then you can look into the chapter 8, that is all about determinants and its properties. See here, determinants and its properties. Again, don't look into all the topics in this one. Just determinants and properties, that is enough. And then eigenvalues and eigenvectors. These are very, so this book I will share in the classroom folder. Okay, I'll create in the classroom folder. I will share some books for reference so you can see. Okay, now I'll give some problems here. Please try to respond. Some problems. Some good problems. Let's see. Yeah, this is a good question. The question here is, so we have a problem here. If A is real symmetric matrix, if A is real symmetric matrix, then A into A transpose is, then A into A transpose is alternatives unsymmetric B is always symmetric C is skew symmetric and D is sometimes symmetric. Can anyone answer this? Can anyone answer this? Please see this question and try to answer this.
Sir, always symmetric,
Yeah,
sir.
good. It is always symmetric. How? You need to verify. This follows from the definition. Just a minute. I'll take some water and come. Just 2 minutes. Yeah. So it is a mere application of the definition here. The application of the definition, I mean, it is here. A transpose is equal to A, symmetric means. So he is asking about A transpose. So simply see, it is already given that A is symmetric. So A transpose is A. Now we need to check about B. It is A transpose. So simply what we need to do is that we calculate B transpose. We calculate B transpose here. B transpose is A transpose. But you have a rule, AB whole transpose is B transpose into A transpose. So you have A transpose transpose into A transpose. See, we are following a rule here. Transpose, yeah, good. So if you have two matrices CD, CD whole transpose is D transpose C transpose. That is a rule for transpose, property of transpose. So, and on the other hand, A transpose transpose is A. That is another rule. So you have A transpose. We just now have seen that A transpose is, we assumed that A transpose is B. So this is always symmetric. Right. This is always symmetric. One more question I will give you. Try this. Actually, I want to type these things. There is no time. The collection of good problems are there. But once we cover all these things, I have a taped document that I can share with you. Choose selectively. Right. See, what I suggest you is that for as part of preparation in this one, today we have introduced two ideas. One is transpose, the other is determined. The strategy here, I am talking about strategies. So first, what are all the properties with only, I mean, that are associated with transpose? Like, what are properties we mean? Can A plus B transpose? See, what are the operations on matrices? You have A, B, you can add. You have capital A, capital B, you can multiply. What else are there? You can multiply a matrix by a scalar. So see here, if I put A plus B whole transpose, then can I express that A plus B is another matrix? Can I express the transpose of A plus B in terms of transpose of A and transpose of B? That is, can I claim A transpose plus B transpose? This is always true. This is always true. So this is a property, what I mean by. So similarly, when we look at next scalar multiplication, that is one prominent one. So you have to make use of these things, properties I mean. So you have A, B whole transpose. See, I am not mentioning about their sizes. When I talk A plus B, they are of same size. When I talk A, B product, so the number of rows, number of columns in A is the number of rows in B. So this is B transpose A transpose. See, when I say this is a property, there should be some meaning. See, suppose meaning means what? We can check. Sometimes we may not remember all these rules, but some uh, something is there to speak, to verify. In fact, see what is that? If your A is m by n, to talk about AB, this must be n by p. So AB is m by p. That matrix. Fine, it is good. Now it's a transpose. It's a transpose, that is AB transpose. Yeah, AB transpose is of which type, which size? P by M, because if A is M by N, then A transpose is N by M. Now see, how about B transpose? B transpose is, because B is N by P, this is P by N. P by M. Sorry, B transpose is P by N. Good. P by N, not M. P by, what is this? A is M by N, N by C. Okay, good. So P by N. What is A transpose? A transpose is N by P. Yeah, right. Now what we got? See, you have this is equal to this. So you can multiply B transpose, A transpose, you can talk about. That here is a small mistake. That is A is M. Here you have to write, sorry. Oh, again I have to go here. Here N by M you have to write, right. So now if you multiply a P by N matrix with N by M matrix, you will get a P by M matrix. So BT into AT is, so we have BT into AT is. So we have BT into AT is. This is P by M. So what is C here? The very important thing is that the size of BTAT is P by M. Similarly, the size of AB transpose, somewhere else I read, yeah, it is AB transpose, that is also P by M. So there is meaning what I mean to say. If I say if we say this property, there should be some meaning. There should be some meaning, otherwise it's of no use. So both are P by M matrices. Both are P by M matrices. Okay. So that is another property. And one more prominent property involving transpose is whatever may be the size, whatever may be the size, that is, it may be a square matrix or a non-square matrix, A transpose is A. Likewise, see how to prepare actually. These properties are important ones. We add A plus B, and one more thing. Yeah, I forgot. See, K into A, scalar matrix. Then if you take transpose, the answer is Ka transpose. So now see how many properties are there. Important properties. This is one important property. This is another important property, second property. Okay, when it comes to transpose. The third one is, this is one more property. This is third one. This is fourth one. So you have four properties involving transpose. Fine. Now, today we talked about another one, that is determinant. So when it comes to determinant, we have some questions now. The questions are, you can just check into the books I have referred. Okay, that is enough. In fact, you need not go beyond that one. Don't look at proofs. We want results and then how to apply them. That is very important for us. So if I ask you, for example, see, determinant and elementary row operations, that is very important one. I mean, for those students, CC students are there in this one, we have done that statistical methods, engineering statistics and linear algebra. In that one, that book involves determinant and elementary row operations. That is very crucial one. So when you exchange two rows or columns, the sign of the determinant will change. Like that, you have, and when you add to a row another row, then it won't change. The determinant won't change. That's what the second property. Like that, see, determinant and elementary row operations, involving determinant and elementary row operations plus elementary row operations. Very important ones these are. Next, this is one set of properties, determinant and transpose. The properties involving determinant and transpose. Like this you have to see. Then all the questions you can answer. What is this properties involving determinant and transpose? For example, I can ask you, what is can you say determinant of A transpose is determinant of A? That's a question. Yes, that is true. That's a so this is a property involving determinant and transpose. Determinant and transpose. So is there any other things involving transpose and determinant? Like those things you have to see. And one more thing is also there. There is one more important property is about determinant and elementary row operations is something called pivots are there. So you can always, that pivot I mean, in a specially performed, in a particular way we perform the elementary row operations, not in the routine way, which I have talked about during these 2 days. That is routine way.
but there is a way, particular way of obtaining echelon form. There is a part. I will tell that one and close today. So, for example, that is determinant in terms of pivots. In terms of pivots, this is very useful property using which most of the questions can be answered. For example, what is this pivot? See here, when I, okay, yeah, for example, we'll take a simple problem. For example, I am taking 2, 1, 3, then you have say 1, 2, 0, then you say I'll just for 3, 0, 0 I'll take. I want to know about the determinant of this. Can anyone tell what is the determinant of this? See, there is a shortcut way. Please, anyone? Can you respond, please? Can you respond? Anyone? I think many of you are not listening. Anyone is able to hear to me? Hello, can anyone unmute the? I think you are. See.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, can anyone tell without computation? Can you tell what is the determinant of this?
0.
No, determinant is not 0 here. Determinant is not 0. See here, I will how effectively you can find out without computation. Any triangular matrix, you have lower triangular, upper triangular. Its determinant is the product of principal diagonal elements. It is so, for example, if you have like see 1 0 minus 1, 0 1 0, 0 0 2, then the principal diagonal is this. This is a triangular matrix. So its determinant is 1 into 1 into 2. So it is 2. But here principal diagonal, see, this is not a neither upper triangular nor lower triangular. So let me call this one A. Then what is A transpose? A transpose is you have 2 1 3, 1 2 0, 3 0 0. Sorry, 2 1 3, 1 2 0, 3 0 0. Right. Good. Somewhere else I made a mistake. 2 1 3, 1 2 0, 2 1 3, 1 2 0, 3 0 0. Sorry, yeah, you are right. So where I went wrong? This is I think we need to calculate here. It is not possible. Okay. No shortcut is available here. So here, no shortcut, I am sorry. So it is not a triangular matrix. I thought its transpose is triangular. It is not triangular here. 2 1 3, 1 2 0. Yeah, 3 zeros are coming, but this is not triangular. Okay, fine. Then so what we need to do is that you have to go for pivots. There is no shortcut here. There is no shortcut here. Pivots I will go. So how pivots can be applied? Good. That is a good idea. I think see whether it is 0. I guess it may not be 0. Okay. So here what I will do is that I keep 2 and 3 here. In the second one, I'll make 0. How I can make 0? Like R2, okay, R2 minus, can I say R2 minus half, R2 minus half R1, good, half R1. So what it will come? 0, half, 2 minus half, 2 minus half, 5 minus 4, 2 minus half, 3 by 2. Here 0 minus 3 by 2, minus 3 by 2. Good. So you have 3, 0, 0. Then what I will do is that I will try to make this 3, 0. Which 3? I will try to make this 3, 0. How can that be done? This is very, here you can see the difference. So here the operation is R3 minus R3 minus, I have to make this one 0. So 3 by 2 R1. See here, this is pivot. This is also pivot. This is fixed. Okay, I am trying to make now this 3, 0. So for that one, what is the resultant matrix? There is no change here. 2, 1, 3, 0, 3 by 2, minus 3 by 2. Here 3 by 2 means 3 by 2. If I multiply, you will get a 3, so it is 0 here. 3 by 2, if I multiply that, here minus 3 by 2. Yeah, what you said is right, I think. And if you take 3 by 2, that is, you are getting here 3 by 2. I mean 9 by 2, minus 9 by 2. Yeah, I'm getting minus 9 by 2. So now I have to make this 3 by minus 3 by 2 0. Which minus 3 by 2? This minus 3 by 2 0. So how could that be done? That can be done
R2 plus R3, sir.
as R3, no, don't write plus. Yeah, right. R3, no, here I have to take care. You are saying that R3 plus R2. Hello? Are you saying
Yes,
R3
sir.
plus, R3 plus R2? Yeah, right. You can say R3 plus R2. Then what will be the third row? I am writing only third row here. So 0, then 0, R3 plus R2, R2. Okay. Then you have minus, that is 3 into minus 3. So minus 4 into 3 by 2. No. This is 3 by 2s. So 4 minus 4 by 2. So minus 2. Right? Is it right? Third row, this row.
Minus 9 and minus 3, no, sir. Minus 9
Minus,
plus minus
by 2 is there, no. Minus 3, minus 9. Oh, minus 12, minus 12 by 2. Is it right? So
Yeah,
minus
minus
12
6.
by, minus 6, sorry. Minus 6, right. Now my question is, so you have this, okay. This is your pivot. I'm sorry. This is your pivot, minus 6. This is another pivot. This is another pivot. You now write the product of pivots. So you have 3 into minus 6. I think the determinant of this is minus 18. The determinant. So what I would like to say is that sometimes this technique is useful because you should not then disturb these two things. Don't try to make this one 1. That's what I am saying. While finding try converting into echelon form, some people here will, what they will do is that, see, in this problem I have given here 1. Yeah, this is that is why I have given this. Look at this. So they will go for interchange here. So 1 will become, that becomes the pivot, and then they will perform operations. You can do that one, but if you perform that interchange, then a minus sign will come there. Okay. So product of pivots, determinant is the product of pivots. That is one more very important thing. So then you can ask one question while reducing that one of this 3 by 3 square matrix. Suppose you have only two non-zero rows. Then for the third 0 row pivot, there is no pivot, it is 0 itself. So the product is determinant is 0. Rank is less than 3. So determinant is 0. So what I mean to say here is that when you are looking at the properties, see here, determinant and elementary row operations, those properties we have to collect. I'll put a slide in this one, in this present PPT, and determinant and properties involving determinant and transpose. That makes that makes enough. Yes, that makes sense, and that is enough. That is the complete set of rules you can see prepare. Okay, if you have those things, then you are done. So my PPTs today, actually I only want to talk about these things. That's why I have not added. See here. So trace I have talked about. Then see, even if trace is there, I have some questions. See, for example, trace also you have to think about these properties. Trace of A plus B. Is that equal to trace of A plus trace of B? That's a question. See, there are properties here. Similarly, trace of AB, can you say anything? Can you express? See, here in the top, if this is really true, that is a property. This won't be correct. You can verify it. Okay. So what you are doing? You are trying to express trace of A plus B in terms of trace A and trace B. This will not be correct. That is, it's not. It is false. I'm sure. Okay. So, for example, if you want an example, so you take, say, 1 minus 1, then you can see, yeah, 0, 0. Okay, trace is this, trace a plus we will put here, plus we will put here. So you have minus 1, then minus 1, 0, 0, 1. Oh, good. Okay, this is our A, this is our B. What is trace A here? Trace A here is, trace A here is minus 1, trace B is minus 1. So trace A plus trace B is minus 2. Fine. But what is trace A plus B? See here, what is A plus B? This is trace A plus trace B. But what is A plus B? A plus B is 0 there. See, you can see here. A plus B is 0. Okay, that is 0, 0, 0, 0. So trace of 0 matrix is 0. So trace of 0 matrix, trace of A plus B is 0. So these two are not equal. Minus 2 is not equal. So that is, you see, you can collect those properties, but some properties are there which are helpful in solving problems. So trace involving trace also you can collect. So determinant and in terms of pivotals, that is one more thing, and determinant and transpose, these are the crucial things. Okay, I'll put in one slide and share with you in the by next class. And the plan is that we have 2 classes, okay, for this system of linear equations and types of matrices. I have already discussed here. Then I've been focusing more on square matrices here. So here some properties involving rank. See here, rank of A and A transpose are same. Rank of 0 matrix is 0. Likewise, I have mentioned here some properties involving rank. I will include a slide before this one. This is about eigenvalues and eigenvectors. Before this one, I will include 2 slides here that involving that discusses. One slide discusses about the properties involving determinant and transpose, and the other one the properties involving determinant, row operations, whenever I am saying row operations, pivotals also will come into picture. Those two slides I will add, and then we can go for this last two things, that is eigenvalues and eigenvectors. This is enough, and then we will have a good number of problems. Almost I think 30 to 40 problems are there with me. Then you can try to solve them. Okay. Beyond that, they don't ask. So this is my plan. So one more 2-hour lecture, possibly on which covers, in fact, almost all ideas on eigenvalues and eigenvectors still, including these properties. I will put. So 4 slides we'll discuss in next 2 classes, that is in coming Saturday. And on by Monday, your linear algebra component will be over. That is full problem solving session, gate questions. And that is my plan. Okay. Any suggestions? Any suggestions? Because some of you see, what I am thinking is that here this is a common, I mean, I'm talking about the topics by keeping all branches here. That is the task before me. So I need to review some things which are trivial ones also. Okay. So that's all. If you have any questions, but I want the answer for this one. This I have not given answer. See this by next class. You need, this is a gate question. I told, yeah, this is. He has given A and he is asking us to find e power A. Okay. But in that e power A, everything, see, there are 4 alternatives. I am not giving all 4 alternatives. In that one, in another alternative, what he is doing is that instead of -2, he is putting some number. Instead of 2, some number. Like that he is doing. How can we arrive at this one? This is a good question. Okay. Try this one. How, if when A is given, how e power A can be found, defined, in fact. See, there is I'm giving a hint also. I'm giving a hint also. The hint is that, yeah, I will give hint also. That is better. I cannot just leave like that. My thought is that like this. See, you have e power x, 1 plus x square by factorial 2 plus etc. When you are talking about polynomials, with, see, this is this thing, if you truncate at some point of time, like this, only 3 terms if you take, then this becomes a polynomial in x of degree 2. Okay. So if you put some value for x, then it gives an approximation to e power x. E power x is a number, the right hand side is also a number. Right. Now this motivates us to define e power a. What is e power a? E power a, now I write as 1 means identity. See, given A is a 2 by 2 matrix. A is 2 by 2 matrix. In that problem, in the above mentioned problem. So when I write I, this is I2, 2 by 2 identity matrix, plus 1 by x, see, 1 plus x. So x is there. So x means here E, plus a square by factorial 2. So you are multiplying 1 by factorial 2 with a square plus a cube, like this. I am thinking in this direction, but if there is an easy way, let me know. Okay. So this I'm giving as a hint, and think about this one. What is your idea? You need to tell me. how, if A is given like this, how can you find A power, I mean E power? Somewhere else I have given this. I missed it somewhere else here. I have given that matrix. Okay, that A is some matrix I have given. Where is that? Somewhere I missed this. Just now I told you. Yeah, it is. Yes. A is 0, 1, minus 2, minus 3. Find E power A. This is given in GATE examination for ECE in 2008. You can search. So that is all for today. So any questions you can ask. Otherwise, I will upload this in this upload the presentation and some books in this classroom folder by tomorrow. Okay, with PPT, along with PPT. Any questions? If you have any questions, for mechanical students also, this I kept that one in my mind, and I presented this. For mechanical, triple E, ECE. ECE people will have some more. They talk about are the columns independent, are the rows independent? Some questions will be there for them. That I will tell in the next class. Okay. So that's all for today. If you have any questions.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome. Then you can leave if you want.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. I will post the all these things PPT and in the classroom folder, please, because in WhatsApp where can I? We don't have a group. That's why in Google Classroom I will post for folder.
Okay, sir.
Right. Classroom code. Yeah, I will text itself here because classroom code. Where is that here? Yeah. I don't change this one. Right. I keep the link. We can keep the same link. Okay, we can continue with the same link, and this is the code, class code.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, okay, welcome. You can leave. Okay, if you have any questions, I will wait for some time and then I will leave.
another sketch.